It took me 18 months and 165 pounds to realize and understand that pressure and weight in your life is not there to simply and merely be lifted, but it's to teach you a lesson. Every single pound that you lift, every single pound of excess weight that you carry signifies something. Like I said in the beginning, it took me 18 months and 165 pounds. Why do I say that? Because at my heaviest, I weighed 350 pounds. And in the span of about 18 months, shortly after I got married to my beloved and amazing and incredible wife, she's the best wife in the world. But shortly after I got married, I began to start my journey of weight loss. But what I didn't realize at the time, what I didn't realize in the beginning of my journey, is that all that extra weight that I had put on, it wasn't just simply weight. It wasn't just fat cells. Like if we look at the biology of it, if we look at the physiology of it, the science, if we look at all of that, right? Sure. It all comes down to calories in, calories out. It all comes down to I was eating too much. It all comes down to I was moving too little. It all comes down to all those things. My habits were all over the place. I had terrible habits. I didn't have any discipline. It all comes down to all of those things at the end of the day when it comes to the science. But the most important thing that I didn't realize, especially in the beginning, is what all of that extra weight that I was carrying in my lower back, on my chest, in my stomach, all that belly fat that I was carrying that put me in a position to have to wear 48-inch pants and 4X shirts and still be tight. It signified something. Like it actually meant something a lot deeper than simply fat cells. It signified something a lot deeper than simply extra weight, than simply laziness. And the unlock wasn't just simply that it signified something, but the fact that the something that it signified spans across a giant spectrum. Let me bring it down to earth a bit and put some legs to it. I just got done the gym, just knocked out my lower day, or my leg day, and I was listening to this, like when I go in the gym, I either listen to Brain FM. If you don't know what that is, go in the App Store, look that up. I would stop listening to music when you go in the gym, just period. Just stop listening to music. It's a distraction. If you got beats, all this other stuff, words, it's a distraction. Stop listening to music, download Brain FM, start the free trial, and unlock the next version of yourself. Either that or start listening to podcasts. And so I was listening to this podcast on self-actualization when it comes to like sales. And it really was just causing me to think about the fact that everything that I've accomplished, all the weight that I've lost, all the muscle that I've gained, the marriage that I've developed, the communication skills that I've developed, the success I've had in like all these things, they signify something much bigger and much deeper than what's on the surface. Me going into the gym and hitting squats and hip adductions and RDLs, Romanian, like, sure. Is it fun to track the metrics and look at the numbers go up and progressively overload and like, yeah, it's fun to do all that stuff. And I'm proud and, well, I'm excited. I'm excited because pride cometh before a fall. I'm excited for the progress that I've made. And I'm grateful for the fact that the Holy Spirit has given me the power and enabled me to build what I've built and create what I've created, especially when it comes to my health, physical health, my marriage, all that stuff. So I'm excited about that and I'm grateful. But every single rep that I write down on this page means something different. It signifies something a lot deeper. When you go into the gym and you start lifting weights, when you go into the gym and you start bench pressing, you put that barbell on your back that maybe you haven't put on your back in a long time, or maybe you're putting on your back for the first time. But when you put that barbell on your back and it's digging into your skin, on your traps, and it starts to burn like it did for me today. And you sit there and you wonder to yourself, what am I doing right now? It burns. After you go down, and maybe you struggle to come back up, God gave you the ability to do that squat to teach you, at the very least, I think he gave you the ability to do that squat to teach you many lessons, but at the very least one. And I'm telling you, it wasn't the lesson, that one lesson that he's looking to teach you through that squat isn't simply your squat form. Isn't simply the metal plates. Isn't simply the biomechanics and physiological pattern movement. No. Every single rep signifies something deeper than the actual rep. And what does that mean? Every single piece of weight that you put on your back, or that you lift over your head, or that you curl with your arm, like every single rep with weight, every single pound of weight that you carry, either intentionally through weightlifting or intentionally because you're overweight, is meant to teach you something. So when I think back, in the beginning, when I was 350 freaking pounds, and I couldn't even stand, I couldn't even stand for longer than a minute without needing to rock back and forth like a penguin because both my feet were on fire. When I was that heavy and I had all that extra weight, God didn't allow me to experience that experience so that I can start hating fat cells. He didn't allow me to experience all that weight, that extra weight that I decided to carry through my bad habits of eating, nutrition, movement, so that I can become an expert in physiology. And no, that's not why he did that. That's not why he did that. You're not carrying around all this extra weight so that you can understand the physiology of how your fat cells work. That's not why you're carrying around all this extra weight. You're carrying around all this extra weight. And I was carrying around all that extra weight because God was trying to communicate something to me that was a lot deeper than the actual weight, which is the actual root cause of the reason why I was carrying around all of that extra weight. And the longer it takes for me to actually realize that, the longer it's going to take for me to turn my life around and achieve my dream physique. Yeah, on the surface, it's about, on the surface, achieve your dream physique. I dreamt about the physique that I had now when I was 350 pounds. And so, in a sense, I've achieved my dream physique. And I'm getting bigger and I'm getting stronger and all that stuff. And bravo and yay for me. But the fact of the matter is, it was always bigger than a bicep vein. It's always been bigger and deeper than some big Brock Lesnar traps. Like, it was never about a six-pack. And the longer you spend in the space where it's about a six-pack for you, or it's about some numbers on a sheet, the longer you spend in that space where that's what it's about, the longer it's going to take for you to actually achieve your dream physique, achieve your goals, and actually get what you want out of life. Because God is actually very gracious. He's very gracious in allowing you, and he was very gracious in allowing me to overeat, to undermove. Why was he gracious? Why am I saying he was gracious? Why is that a loving thing for God to have done and for God to do for you? Because of what the point of all that is. The point of all the extra weight that you're carrying, that you are responsible for, is because every single pound is another lesson for you to learn. You have to go deeper. You have to do the internal work. And if you don't do the internal work, and instead you just focus on the next best plan or the next best diet or the next Jeff Nippert video or Dr. Mike or Greg Doucette or this fitness guy or Alex if you keep looking at all those external sources, you'll never escape. You'll always stay stuck. Because whether it's in the gym and you're putting the weight intentionally on your back or over your chest or lifting it with your arm, or you're carrying the weight on your back from all the excess steaks and pizzas that you didn't eat, it doesn't matter where the weight's coming from. If you don't do the internal work and you don't accept and embrace the truth behind every single pound, you'll never escape. You'll always be stuck. Because the truth of the matter is, and I'll wrap it up with this, the truth of the matter is, the truth that God wants you to see and that he wanted me to see is that behind all these reps behind all the weight that I done lifted above my head and on my back, behind all the weight that I lost and that I gained, it was always, the entire time, about me. And about the man that he created me to be. About becoming the best version of me. I can't tell you what pound number 276 means for you. You might weigh 300 pounds. Once you get down to 276, once you get down to 210, God's not going to allow you to get down to those weights so you can step on the scale and simply be excited about a surface level number. And if you stop there, you've missed the point. God allowed you, and he allowed me to get there to reflect back and look at exactly what that pound of weight, what it signifies and what it means. That's what he's after. And don't hear what I'm not saying. Life isn't about you. But you being able to serve at a high level, you being able to show up for the people that you love, you being able to show up for your wife, it doesn't start with the next meal plan. It doesn't start with the next nutrition or diet plan. It doesn't start with the next workout plan, workout strategy. It doesn't start with the next YouTube video. No. It starts with the internal work of looking internally at yourself and being willing to be honest and accept and embrace the truth about yourself. Because that's where change starts. It starts with the truth about you.